Who would ever thought that one of the greatest artists in history was also a wanted criminal? And did you know that the first true abstract artist was forgotten for over 50 years? In this video, we'll unravel 8 mind-blowing facts about art that will change your perceptions and reveal incredible stories. Did you know that Kandinsky saw colors as sounds? This rare condition forever changed the world of art. Have you ever been in a museum and heard a different melody for each painting? For Vasily Kandinsky, this was real. He had a rare condition called synesthesia, which allowed him to associate sounds with colors. Imagine seeing a deep blue and hearing the sound of a cello, or seeing yellow and hearing the sound of a trumpet. This extraordinary ability influenced all of his art, making it a multisensory experience. One of his most famous paintings, Composition 8, is not just a riot of shapes and colors, but a true visual symphony. And there's more. Kandinsky believed that the art should touch the soul, just like music does. In fact, he often described his paintings as compositions. This completely changes the way we look at his work, doesn't it? Who would ever think that one of the greatest artists in history was also a wanted criminal? Michelangelo Merisi, better known as Caravaggio, was not only a genius painter, but also a man with a dark past. Did you know he was accused of murder? Caravaggio not only revolutionized art with his dramatic use of light and shadow, but also lived a life full of scandals, duels, and escapes. In 1606, after killing a man during a brawl in Rome, Caravaggio became a fugitive. His turbulent life was reflected in his works, which often depicted intense and violent scenes, such as the beheading of St. John the Baptist, one of his most famous works. This painting is not only remarkable for its realism, but also for a unique detail. It is the only one where Caravaggio signed his name, and he did so with the blood of the victim. Salvador Dalí wasn't just an eccentric painter, he was a true master of the absurd. One of the strangest episodes of his life, in 1955, he decided to fill a Rolls-Royce with 500 kilograms of cauliflowers and drive around Paris. But why? According to Dalí, the cauliflower was the ultimate expression of natural mathematics and the perfect logarithmic form. This gesture perfectly represented his unique artistic vision, blending the banal with the sublime. Whether he was painting melting clocks or creating a lip-shaped sofa, his world was one of dreams and provocations. The next time you look at Dalí work, remember, you're not just seeing a painting, but an entire philosophy of life. Frida Kahlo is known for her self-portraits, but did you know that behind each painting lies a painful secret that few people know? After a terrible accident at the age of 18, Frida lived with chronic pain that accompanied her throughout her life. Many of her paintings depict her personal struggle against this pain. But there's an even more surprising fact. Frida didn't see art merely as a form of expression, but as therapy. Every brushstroke, every color was a way to exorcise her inner demons. Her painting, The Broken Column, for example, portrays her spine as a broken ionic column, a symbol of her physical suffering but also of her inner strength. Each of Frida Kahlo's paintings is a window into her soul. Did you know that one of the boldest acts in the history of art took place in the Louvre? On August 21, 1911, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa mysteriously vanished from the Louvre, throwing Paris into a panic. But who would ever dare to steal the most famous painting in the world? It was a single man who carried out this incredible theft, Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian who worked at the Louvre. His motivation? Believing that the Mona Lisa rightfully belonged to Italy. But here's the twist, the painting remained hidden for 2 years in a single apartment room. Peruggia expected a reward for returning the painting to what he regarded as its homeland. Although the painting was famous before the theft, the notoriety it received from the newspaper headlines helped it become one of the most recognized works in the world, sparking significant public interest. Hilma Klint created abstract artworks years before artists like Kandinsky and Mondrian became famous for the same style. But her story remained hidden for decades. In 1906, when no one dared to go beyond realism, Hilma began creating abstract paintings inspired by her spiritual beliefs and contact with the invisible world. Her most famous series, The Paintings for the Temple, is a collection of monumental works filled with symbolism and meaning. But here's the incredible fact. She believed that the world wasn't ready for her art, so she requested that her works remain hidden for 20 years after her death. And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't until 1980s that her works finally emerged, revealing that abstract art has an unknown pioneer. One of the most recognizable paintings in American history, Grant Wood's American Gothic, hides some surprises that few people know about. Most people think the subjects are a farmer and his wife. The man with the pitchfork is Grant Wood's dentist, while the woman beside him is his sister. But why the title American Gothic? When the artist saw an unusual house in Iowa with a pointed arch window, a feature typically found in Gothic churches, he was inspired to paint this picture with the kind of people he imagined would live there. There's also a third character in this painting, the pitchfork facing the viewer. Several interpretations have been proposed. It could be a way of preventing the devil from entering the house, or perhaps by this gesture the man is telling us no entry to protect the secrets kept in this house, whose closed curtains in the middle of the day suggest that something is being hidden from us. Can your painting be too scandalous for a museum? It happened to Edouard Manet. Edouard Manet was one of the most revolutionary artists of his time, but not everyone knows that one of his most famous paintings, Olympia, was considered so scandalous that it was almost rejected by the Paris Salon in 1865. What made Olympia so controversial? The nude model, depicted with a direct and unashamed gaze, challenged all the artistic and social conventions of the time. It wasn't the nudity that shocked the people, but the woman's attitude, confident, independent, almost provocative. But there's more. Manet wasn't just breaking the rules of academic painting. He was openly challenging the hypocrisies of society. Manet didn't back down in the face of criticism. He continued to defy norms and pave the way for the Impressionists, proving that art isn't just about pleasing, but also about provoking and making people think. Do you want to know how Michelangelo made fun of the Pope? Then I recommend you watch this video.